took a night shift job at a gas station on Highway 6. The place was called Mile 27, not because it was famous, but because it was exactly 27 miles away from the nearest town. It stood alone in the middle of nowhere, with 2 fuel pumps, 1 small shop, and a long empty road stretching into darkness in every direction. The owner was an old man. He was quiet and serious. On my first day, he told me something strange. He said that after 3 a.m., I should never go outside, and if someone came exactly at 3:17 a.m., I should not ask questions and not look at their face. I should just give them what they asked for. I laughed and thought he was trying to scare the new guy, but he didn't laugh back. He only said, "You'll understand soon." My shift started at 10 p.m. The first few hours were normal. Some truck drivers stopped for fuel. A few tired travelers came in for coffee and cigarettes. And then after midnight, everything suddenly stopped. No cars passed by. No insects made any sound. Even the wind felt dead. The silence felt heavy, like the world itself was holding its breath. Around 2:30 a.m., the air always became colder. Not normal cold, but the kind of cold that feels wrong. The lights outside started flickering, and that's when I noticed something strange. Every night at exactly 3:17 a.m., the automatic door would open and close by itself. No one would be there. I thought it was just a sensor problem until the night I finally saw him. That night I was standing behind the counter trying to stay awake when I saw the clock change from 3:16 to 3:17. The door slowly opened. A man was standing there. He was tall, too tall, wearing a long, dark coat. His skin was pale, not sick pale, but dead pale. He didn't walk inside. He slid across the floor. He stopped in front of the counter and just stood there. I remembered the owner's warning and kept my eyes down. Then the man spoke. His voice sounded distant, like it was coming from deep underground. He asked me if his car was ready. My heart started beating fast because there was no car outside. The road was completely empty. I told him I didn't see his car. He stayed silent for a moment, then leaned closer. I smelled something cold and rotten, like wet soil. He said it was strange because his car was always there. Then he slowly turned his head toward the window and said that it was good, because that meant he had not left yet. Suddenly the lights went out. Everything went black for a few seconds. When the lights came back, he was gone. The door was closed and the station was empty, but on the floor there were wet footprints. They started near the door and ended behind the counter, right where I was standing. I didn't sleep that day. The next night I told myself it was just stress and imagination. But at 2:50 a.m., the cold came back and the lights started flickering again. I watched the clock slowly move toward 3:17 and felt my body freeze. When the door opened, the man was there again, but this time he was not alone. Something shorter and thinner was standing behind him, and its shadow did not look human. The man said they needed fuel because they were still burning. My hands were shaking when I told him there was no car. He said there was one, but I just couldn't see it anymore. Then he said something I will never forget. He said I couldn't see them last time either. The lights went out again. When they came back, they were gone, but this time there was a black handprint burned into the counter, and it was still warm. I quit the next morning. Before leaving, I asked the owner what was really happening at that place. He looked at me for a long time and then told me that 5 years ago, a bus caught fire on that road at exactly 3:17 a.m. 20 people were inside and none of them escaped. He said sometimes they come back, still thinking they are traveling. I asked him why he kept the station open. He looked at the road and said that if no one stayed there, they would go looking somewhere else. I never worked another night shift again, but sometimes when I am driving late at night and see a lonely gas station with flickering lights, I always check the clock and pray that it is not 3:17 a.m.